the lake levels in Michigan are so high, everybody's having to sandbag and build up their yards, sometimes chasing the rainwater right up to their house. So this backyard, it has been built up. So they protected themselves from the lake, which is the biggest thing. But now, the low point happens to be right here around the patio. So we're gonna grab all the downspout water, all the roof runoff water. We dug out this flower bed. We're gonna turn it into an open French drain. Pulled the pavers apart, gonna run our drain through there. We still gotta cut the concrete right here. We're gonna cut the concrete, run that roof runoff system right in our French drain trench. Down there, there's only a 4-inch, little tiny 4-inch grate. When there's trees dropping their leaves, losing their leaves, things like that, it's not very much surface water inlet. And there is problems, and they do get flooding, so we're going to put in a channel drain. We have a lot going on. Whenever you have a boat hoist, bunch of electrical on the dock, you know you're going to be running into a lot of conduit, a lot of electrical. There was a tree here, so we're hitting a lot of old roots. We got our post in for our electric plug. We're going to put in one of our bad seed, micro bad seeds. Super easy. We'll show you guys that from A to Z. Super easy. All right, we're grabbing the downspout water. We got some really big 3x4x4 downspouts. We got our solid high octane, and this is going to be an open French drain. So in the same trench, we're running our 8-slot high octane. Look at that. So that's going to grab all the water that has been running. When the water comes up over the seawall and it splashes, it does a pretty good job of running back out because they humped up their yard really high. But it's the water that falls and runs towards the house this way, and all the downspout water that just ends up laying right in here. So an open French drain with a roof runoff system inside of it is going to be the right way to take care of this. So we're going under the walk. Guys are going to put the walk back together. To get some of these downspouts out, we had to cut some concrete. Whatever it takes. Grabbing all the downspouts. The roof is responsible for so much of the runoff. Then we're going to put in one of our micro bad seeds. The guys went ahead and drilled 1/2-inch holes in the housing. Pretty cool. We'll show you guys how we set these to the proper height. All right, we have our French drain pipe, our 8-slot, high octane. We have 8 openings, big inlets. This is our French drain pipe. It's just going right down the side of our bad seed. This is our micro bad seed. It's super easy to install. It's super small, tiny. And then we have our high octane yard drain pipe in the solid. This was for the downspouts. And we're dumping the water about midway on the chamber. This is a duplex model. Now we have 2 different types of discharge lines. We have the white Schedule 40 and we have the black Schedule 40. We like the black Schedule 40 because it's 10 times more pliable. It's just so much easier to work with. So we're just going to lay that down just right beneath the sod. The grade is perfect. It's ideal here. There's no way for a belly to get stuck in this pipe. It's not going to happen. The yard's kind of built up. We're going to dump the water right at the seawall where it can go right back where it belongs in the lake. Super easy install. Pretty non-invasive to the yard. Super easy DIY. So whether you run one of the bad seed micros or if you step it up to a duplex bad seed micros where you have 2 1/3 horsepower pumps, super easy to install. Now in most applications the homeowner can just run a trench, I would say 10 inches deep. That's how shallow the trench needs to be, because this micro bad seed is 18 inches right out of the box. So you want it to fall down into the sump cavity, into the sump pit, let the water collect. The sump system has 1/2-inch holes drilled in on both sides and massive inlets on the ends. All the water just runs right in through the housing, right to those 1/3 horse. All right, we got our roof runoff system. We're not letting the water go. If you think of your roof runoff system as a way to capture the water, look, once you have that water, I mean, you have full control of that water. You don't want it to just come out around the house and do what? It's gonna be a bear trying to get that out of the turf grass and get it to drain. So you want to grab it right as it comes down from the downspout. So we have some big downspouts, brand new. These are 3x4x4. We got our solid high octane yard drain pipe. We come into here with our solid. Then we also have our perforated. So we have both of them side by side, just like this. Got the solid for the roof runoff, and then we have our French drain pipe with the inlets. So there's our high octane yard drain pipe running through this open French drain. This used to be a flower bed. It's now going to be an open French drain with just pots on it. We're going to burrito wrap it and top dress it with stone. It's going to look great. The guys took apart the brick paver walk, went ahead, built their drain. They'll burrito wrap it and they'll rebuild the sidewalk, put it back together again. There was cement cut here, Cement had to be cut right here so that we can grab the roof runoff. See, this was all the problems that they were having with all the water hanging out near the house. Most of it was rooftop water. It just needed a good, really good roof runoff system. Now, we do have a negative pitch towards the house, but I'm not bothered by that. This open French drain is going to pick up all that water. It's going to work out really, really nice. Grabbed one more downspout there, and now we're controlling all the water behind this house. You can see that we have the world's strongest pipe, and this is also the world's fastest drain pipe in the world. The 8 slots and the large inlets gives it 17¼ square inches per linear foot of inlet. The high octane yard drain pipe in the 8 slot is a bad boy. So we have this is our micro duplex bad seeds. So we got 2 1/3 horsepower. This is a really cool system. It's super easy to install. 18 inches tall, makes it real easy to handle. Outside diameter is 12 inches. It's an easy dig. We have one pipe. You can see the solid just dumping all the water about mid-unit. We have our high octane just laying right here. We have inlets drilled throughout the housing, and on both ends we have massive inlet grates. The water just floods into this duplex micro bad seed. It gets pumped out to the lake where it belongs. The homeowner had the yard built up really nice. The seawall's nice and tall. Problem is, now what do you do with roof runoff? So we ran a roof runoff system, and the water used to flood and come all the way up to here, the water. And you can see that they were taking, just trash bags and some pavers left over from their patio project and trying to keep the water out. So we built an open French drain for all that water, just to basically run right through this stone. Nothing drains like an open French drain. The guys are putting the paver walk back together again. We got to do concrete right there. They're pinning the burrito wrap. We have a D-box for that downspout. That D-box is for 4 downspouts over there. As long as we have a D-box before we get to our bad seed duplex system, because we don't want the pipe to be all plugged on the ends down near the pumps. So the D-boxes collect the shingle gravel, the leaves, and any debris, so that the water that makes it to our outdoor sump system is clean. Just think of it as like a filtration system. It collects all the debris that could harm your system. So they will pin fabric on top of the stone that's around the duplex. Since that's a micro bad seed duplex system, super easy to install, 18 inches deep, really easy. We're running the discharge line right under the grass, so they'll put fabric right over that stone, and then they'll put the sod right on top of that. The grass can grow right out in the system like all of our French drain systems. You always want to put D boxes in. Remember, you need to put distribution boxes. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 downspouts. Got them all running to that D box. So in the fall, when the trees are losing their leaves, we don't want this line to plug. Failure will end up in a flood and possibly flooding out this sunroom. We're going to put another D box right before we get to our micro bad seed duplex. It's a bad boy right there. 2 1/3 horsepower pumps. Super easy to install too for the DIY. It's only 18 inches tall. We have our 8 slot on one side. We have our roof runoff system on the other. And with the D boxes, we know we're not filling our system full of leaves, shingle, gravel, and debris. We have holes drilled throughout the housing on our micro bad seed duplex system. We got big inlets. We just flood the sump pit. The water goes inside the duplex system. The 2 pumps, they handle it from there. This unit is taking care of business. This unit is doing things right. All right, everybody. Till that next video.